Hey, what's up everybody? I am actually hoping that this works. This is my first attempt at using OBS, so hopefully this is something that actually works out and I can actually accomplish with using this. So, hopefully that's what we get here. And yeah, so if you guys hear any kind of weird noises or if you guys hear anything different or the audio is off, let me know, okay? Because if you guys weren't aware, Google ended the Hangouts, right? They actually ended the live Hangouts, the normal ones anyway, where you can just start them and just kind of go or whatever. But for right now, I was able to kind of throw together some OBS thanks to Sully. Gave me kind of some tips is going to be able to keep me doing the solo cast. I'm still working on the specifics of doing the larger cast because it's difficult with the mics to kind of get everything in there. Even this one is kind of not exactly how it should be. It's kind of jacked up. But as you guys are joining, please like and share this out. I would appreciate it. I really do think the world of you guys coming out here and supporting me. I like to do these videos once in a while. It really sucked not being able to do one for, I think the last one I did was last Wednesday with Xbox Nation, and I said, hey, this might be the last one because they're ending Google Hangouts. But thankfully, it looks like a lot of people are implementing OBS. It was a touch and go thing for me because my internet isn't super, so wondering if I would be able to actually do it. That was something that was going to be something that was a bit difficult to kind of decipher. So as you guys come in, please hit the like and share button. I would really appreciate it. You guys are pretty amazing. Listen, I give Microsoft credit where credit is due, and heck, I've been a Xbox fan a long time, and most of this generation I actually liked what Microsoft was doing. It wasn't until more recently where I had a bit of an issue, and I have to say, when they came out and announced a custom console, first of all, I didn't think they would announce a custom console. This was one of those things where it surprised me because we haven't really seen anything from them recently in terms of like these custom consoles. So I think it's just kind of a surprise. I was actually surprised. Not only did they announce the custom console, they announced a ton of other stuff. And I'm going to kind of go over what they did announce. I linked it so you can check it out. But it was actually a really cool looking custom console. So that surprised me because usually they announce something and it's like that green Battlefield one where it's just green or something. This was actually something that they seemed to take some time out and put a little bit of time in. So hopefully, it's one of those things that they continue to do, because I was one of those people that said, hey, they should really, really, continue to customize these consoles and make things as good as they possibly can. And now it looks like they are actually kind of paying attention. And I got to say that I am extremely happy about that as a fan. As you guys come in, please like and share. I would appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Yeah, I appreciate it, Low End Average Game. Don't worry, I'm going to take some. I'm not going to stay too long today, but I'm going to talk about this a little bit. So Gears 5, Xbox One X, they did the right thing and put it on the Xbox One X. Special edition with the Gears Omen symbol with ice and snow. Some people don't like the ice and snow thing, right? Maybe. And it took me a little bit to get kind of used to this, right? All the other Gears consoles have been like red. So I get this. They wanted to go a little bit different route. They wanted to go ahead and make this kind of shake things up and look different. And they did. They did a really good job. They did a fantastic job. The one thing that I would say was a little bit of a downer was that they waited so long to actually announce this thing, right? This was like, why did they wait so long to actually announce this thing? We are literally 1 month away from today from playing the campaign with the or playing the game in general if you have the Ultimate Edition or Ultimate Game Pass. So yeah, like 1 month away. This is something that perhaps should have been announced at E3, and then you could have seen some significant hype built up around it where people could have been really excited about it. And I think that was a little bit of a missed opportunity, but it does look good. What's cool about this is it's a 1 terabyte with a Blu-ray drive, so you have that to kind of sink into as well. But it comes with all the Gears games. It comes with Gears of War 1, Gears of War 2, Gears of War 3, Gears of War 4, and Gears of War 5. So that I think is pretty cool. You can pre-order it. It's $500 US, by the way. It's going to be available September 6th. So it launches the same day as Gears of War 5. But that's not the only thing. If you don't want to spend $500 for an Xbox One X, right now, which that is a pretty good value if you think about it, because Microsoft is, you know, they're one of the companies that haven't done a lot of this lately, and that maybe, just maybe, they're proving that they that they care a little bit about some of this stuff. So I hope that this is a sign of them actually really caring about you know, what's going on in the console space. Because if they don't care about the console space, then I hate to really think what's going to happen long term. But okay, so they also, in addition to obviously announcing this bit of news, they also have a Gears 5 wireless controller. They're all in on this Kate Diaz, huh? Limited edition wireless controller, going to be available separately from this, but I believe it's the same one that's in the console itself. Yes, so it is available separately as well. Limited edition, $75. Whew, man, that is expensive, but you know, it's got Bluetooth technology and is going to be available August 20th. So you can actually get this Bluetooth controller from Gears of War 5 before the game even comes out. You can get it pretty soon, in like a couple weeks. So, excuse me. You can also get the Gears 5 limited edition Kate Diaz Xbox Pro charging stand. Excuse me. Officially licensed from Controller Gear, the Pro charging stand is manufactured with the same high quality color material as the Kate Diaz controller, and this thing is $50. Wow. So to get the charging stand and the controller, you're looking at quite a big expenditure there. $125. That's pretty high for a controller deal or whatever. Hey, as you guys come in, please hit the like button, share it out. I would really appreciate it. Yeah, I did think it was pretty cool. I like the controller. I like the look of this. It might be the best looking console, not to fall back on anything, but it might be the best looking console I've seen custom wise this generation. You know, I've liked some of the other ones that Sony have done. Microsoft haven't done a lot of them. I've liked a lot of their ones that they give away. Like, they'll make 2 of them and give them away. But overall, you know, I just got to say that, you know, it's just one of those things where you just kind of scratch your head a little bit. So they also released a Razer Thresher Gears 5 wireless headset, which is pretty cool. This is the Razer Thresher Gears 5 Edition wireless headset. Features Sonic for virtual surround sound, lag-free wireless connection, and a digital microphone. It's going to be available in September with more details to come. So they didn't even put a price on this, but it looks cool. It's got the little Gears logo on the side in blue. Now the weirdest thing, which was the Razer Turret for Xbox One, Gears 5 Edition wireless keyboard and mouse. The Gears 5 wireless keyboard and mouse feature a 10 keyless keyboard with an inbuilt mouse mat and a mouse, the acclaimed Razer 5G advanced optical sensor. Blah, 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 2.4 gigahertz, as well as Xbox dynamic lighting, blah, blah, blah. Holy crap, this thing's expensive. Wireless keyboard and mouse will be available in September for $299.99. $300 for a mouse and a keyboard? Gears branded? Holy cow. Man, I gotta believe if you're getting a mouse and keyboard that's that expensive, you're probably a PC gamer. You know, I don't understand why they're pushing the mouse and keyboard stuff for console, but, you know, it's anybody's guess. I don't know, but wow, that's expensive. They also got a Seagate hard drive that looks awesome. This thing is a 2 terabyte or a 5 terabyte game drive. That 5 terabyte one really sounds pretty impressive. Features a design similar to the Xbox itself, with the Lancer weapon skin, supply drops for use in Gears 5, and 1 month of Ultimate Game Pass. So that's pretty cool. The 5 terabyte model will only be available at GameStop, and they haven't priced that one, but I can imagine it's probably going to be at least a couple $100, if not more. Like, the Xbox branded stuff tends to be a little bit more expensive. So, you know, that's, you know, one of those things. Hey, what's up, Mel? How's it going? What's up, everybody else? Everybody can hear me okay? I'm running OBS. Look at me. I'm a big boy. I'm running OBS. Yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, shout out Sully. And, you know, it's one of those things where I desperately was like, hey, I got to be able to do some live streams, even if I can just set up the solo cast for right now. And then Sully's going to help me with some of the other casts and stuff like that. So it's not terribly difficult. Now, what you guys might notice is my icon is just this big old icon in the middle, right? Because what you do is, or what I was explained to do it is, and I followed Sully's instructions, was I tried to use the Google Hangout and use that as a means to kind of broadcast it like it normally would, so it would just pop up and other people's would pop up as they talk. The problem is it just shows up as a blank screen for me, and I don't know why. So there's bugs to be worked out, but I figure at least a picture of me up there in all my glory looks pretty cool. So hit the like button. Maybe we can get up to 75 likes. I think that'd be pretty cool. And you know what? I think that Microsoft is on to something with this. They were actually out on social media a bit and sort of talking about Gears of War 5 and things like that. And I think that's an important big step, because it's not just me, folks. I know everybody thinks that I'm being like rough on Microsoft or whatever, and maybe sometimes I am. But at the end of the day, I just feel like Microsoft could very much be a little bit more geared towards the hardcore Xbox fans themselves. It doesn't seem like they really care a lot of the times. So that's why I'm a little bit harsh on them. But I do like the fact that they've sort of introduced all this stuff, and I did go ahead and talk about like the themes and stuff like that, because I think that's very important going forward, is that Microsoft has to act like they actually care about the console. Is anybody in there going to actually buy this thing? I think it would be awesome. No, I don't have a Antarctican accent. I hope not anyway. So yeah, one of those things where like I'm very happy to sort of just talk about this stuff. I love gaming, as you all know, so I really want to see Microsoft continue to support these things and continue to do well with the custom consoles and just the custom different things that they're offering. I feel like it's just something that a lot of fans want, and it's something that I've been personally asking for. Now, I'm not going to buy this, because I feel like, why would I spend $500 on this when there's new consoles coming out next year? And I feel like that's probably going to be unfortunate with the way a lot of people look at it. But at the same time, I do feel like maybe we'll get to see some more of this stuff in the future. Maybe we'll get a Halo branded console in the future. I was kind of at the point where I thought maybe we wouldn't see any like any type of anything, in terms of what was going on with the custom stuff. Like, we haven't seen much of anything from that, and I really was just hoping that we would see more and more of that. So far, this is a great first effort by Microsoft, and I hope they continue to do this kind of stuff, because I feel like, you have to pay attention to your fans, and you have to be able to give them what they want, and a lot of fans want this. So I would love to see more of this along the lines. I know they don't have a ton of stuff, but I would have loved to see some Forza stuff like this somewhere along the line as well, just because I feel like that would have been something that a lot of fans wanted to kind of explore as well. So really nice to see them go all out on this, and it looks like they did go all out on this one in particular. So yeah, what's up? Scroll back up. King Ice, I'm looking for your comment. King Ice, if you let me see. I don't see your comment. You have to @ me. If you @ me on there, I can see the comment. I haven't really seen it though, but I do think that what they're doing with a lot of people are get multiple consoles, and I think that's a pretty cool thing to do. Like, I have bought, I think, five different consoles this generation, and I have to say, most of them none of them were special edition. Only the Project Scorpio one was one that that was anything that truly that was truly like a custom, and it only says Project Scorpio on it, so it wasn't like it wasn't like something super like super amazing or anything like that, or they went all out on, unfortunately. So to see them kind of go out on this and do the things that they're doing, I really do enjoy that, and I think that it's pretty cool. And I have to say, Microsoft, they did an excellent job with this. Like, maybe they are paying attention somewhat, but just seeing them kind of take advantage of something that's coming out. Again, if I had to critique anything, and I'm not trying to be a jerk about this, but if I had to critique anything, I would just critique the fact that that this should have been maybe announced at E3, and giving people just a month doesn't give people enough time to go out there and put money down on it and pre-order this type of thing. Like, just in my opinion, I wish that they would have given people the ability to do that, because I feel like that gives people a little bit more time. You can trade in your old console, whatever, you set it up so you can trade things in. I feel like that would have been the smarter move, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, hey, it is sort of what it is. I just feel like Microsoft is kind of onto something with this particular one. It really looks good, and maybe they didn't want to do some kind of announcement or something earlier. I don't know. Maybe they feel like this is good. But the whole Gears of War 5 advertising has been just insanely weird to me. They usually announce these things and show gameplay footage. They show some of the campaign. They show, you know, the multiplayer. They're not actually showing any of the campaign in this until the day it releases, the Ultimate Edition. So I hope that they do actually pay attention and maybe give us a little something before then, because I feel like people want something before that point, in my opinion anyway. So I would love to see Microsoft kind of go all out and just give people something very unexpected, which would be like this, and then also some campaign footage and things like that. So, because I do think that that's pretty important, to say the least. And I would love to see just Microsoft go out there and support the fans, you know, support the Gears of War fans, and maybe bring in new, you know, like new players and new gamers for the first time. Because you know what? Gears of War, that's what the arcade mode is all about. So if you guys haven't played the arcade mode, again, I kind of like the arcade mode, even though I like the regular Gears stuff too. But the arcade mode is basically strictly Microsoft's way and the Coalition's way of getting people who don't like the normal Gears stuff into Gears of War. So that's very, very... Oh, Dylan, Raven 6-10 this year, bro. You got to spin that around. 10-6, maybe 11-5. So, yeah. So anyway, if you guys are just joining me, please like this video, share it out. I would definitely appreciate it. Lone Star, why didn't they announce this at E3? Was it always planned this way? I don't know. Doesn't it seem like it's a little bit pushed? I just do think it's a little bit pushed, in my opinion. A little bit. But again, to get something like this, okay, to get something like this, you guys have to keep in mind that it takes a long time to plan this type of thing, because this isn't just like some kind of custom thing that's just a paint job slapped on it. It looks like this has like some grooves and stuff into it. So you have to keep in mind that they probably spent some time and excuse me, they probably spent some time and were planning this for a while. I don't know. Maybe some of these things that are going on in the news is a reason to sort of hold back some of the announcements and stuff like that. I don't know if that's a legit thing or if that's the for sure reason, but it is something that you might take into consideration. You know, I do think that it's cool that they are actually getting a custom console out there, and it's something that they can actually do something around there. Yeah, Mel, holidays around the corner too. Great gift that is. Hey, listen, it doesn't have to be like that console war stuff. If you guys are here joining me, like the video, maybe we can get up to 75. I would appreciate that. Listen, this is cool just because it's Microsoft actually listening and kind of paying attention to fan feedback, and that's something I've been very critical of. So when I'm out here saying, hey, good job Microsoft, I 100% mean it, man. Like, I've been let down a lot this generation from Microsoft, and hopefully this is something of them going in the right direction in the future, because I feel like, you know, they haven't paid attention to us hardcore fans for a very, very long time. And I would love to see them continue to, like, maybe, I don't know, just pay attention to us for a change. Like E3, I know a lot of people give me crap for this, seemed like an infomercial for PC version of Game Pass, and I wasn't a big fan of that. So, you know, hopefully now we start to see that, like, they maybe care a little bit about the console itself. That's always been my thing. Like, how can you feel like you can be confident investing in an Xbox console when it doesn't seem like they're really wanting to invest in the console themselves? And I know they're making games, because I think that's cool, and I know they have studios, and again, I think that's cool. My question has always been, when are we going to see anything from these studios after we've already been waiting for like 4+ years? And I don't know if it's fair to actually be, you know, if it's fair to wait another 4 years on top of the 4 years we've already waited. To most people, that's almost 2 whole generations in a normal you know, generational kind of cycle. So that was something that I kind of was worried about a little bit, and was a little bit understated with that. So I would love to see that. Hold on. Warren says, do you think Halo Infinite being a Scarlet launch title, do you think they will do a custom Halo console? Yeah, now I do. I would have guessed no before I seen this, but I'm going to go ahead and say that, yeah, it does seem like they are going to do a custom console for that as well, which I think is pretty cool, you know, and I think that's something that they have to do. They're really trying to push Scarlet. The thing is, and I've did videos about this, or I've done videos, excuse me, about this. Why is it that everything's got to run on everything, right? Like, I saw this, I did this video, and Frank from 343 was talking about Halo Infinite, and he mentions that they're going to have the game running on the Xbox One, and it's going to run on PC and various PC settings, and it's going to run on the S and the X and Scarlet. This just seems like it's going to be running on so many different things, and I'm just wondering if that's going to be the best thing for this, or if that's something that maybe we can look forward to something different or something. I don't know. Just for me personally, I would have loved to see maybe just on the X and the Scarlet. I know that the Xbox One per se has a larger install base than just that, and the S is probably the larger install base for sure. But at what point do these games being on the old hardware kind of draw down what we're going to be getting in the long run, right? So if you guys didn't know, the Master Chief Collection, for instance, right? You look at the Master Chief Collection. Halo Reach is in the Master Chief Collection. Well, apparently, due to some sort of memory issue on the original Xbox One, they're having problem optimizing Reach for the Xbox One. That's what the holdup is. That's why that's delayed right now, and they're having a lot of problems with it. Hopefully, they can get that worked out sooner rather than later, because a lot of people want to play Halo Reach, myself included. So having that old hardware that you gotta cover with the with that whole blanket backwards compatibility, kind of forward compatibility thing, and that's something that I think Microsoft is starting to sort of maybe have a little bit of problem with. Wounded Penguin said Microsoft would have made a custom Gears 5 PC if they could make it at an affordable price. Well, I mean, $500. Originally, one of the links said $600, and I was like, holy cow, they really don't want to sell this thing at all, do they? But now, I mean, it's kind of obvious that they are wanting to sell it, and you know what? I get it. At first, I was like, "Hey, you wish it would have been $400." I feel like if Microsoft were truly wanting to compete and like end this generation well, that they would, go out there and make the Xbox One X $400. Like, this version comes with some games, and I think that's cool. But the first 4 Gears of War games, like, I think if you bought all 4 of them, you might spend $10. So they aren't exactly expensive games to have. And then, of course, you get the new one, which I think is cool. But again, that one's just in Game Pass for $1 if you want it right now. So yeah, you have to kind of sort of take that for what it's worth. I think it's cool, and I think maybe this will get some people in the community hyped about Gears of War 5. But at the end of the day, we have not seen any advertisement for this, and I would love to see something from Microsoft sort of point this out, that this game is coming in a month. And this is like their big deal. A lot of people thought that Gears of War overtook Halo as their like big game or whatever, but I'm not sure if that's the case anymore. So as you all are joining, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. I would appreciate that as well. Yes, Crackdown overrated. Paul Leon points out a good thing. Somebody on Twitter, by the way, as you guys hit the like button, maybe we can get up over 100. That'd be awesome. Just kind of a spur of the moment thing that I'm doing here. But anyway, so basically what happened was somebody on Twitter asked, what's this generation or this year, what's a game that's overrated, what's a game that's underrated, and what's a game that's rated correctly. So what I did was I said Crackdown 3 was overrated. I know it's like a 59 rating, and that's kind of the funny part. A lot of people, if you do follow me or whatever, don't get pissed off at things that I tweet or whatever, or maybe something that I say. I make jokes a lot. I've always made jokes. I've always made jokes about Xbox, PlayStation, whatever. Like, it didn't really matter to me. Just now people are extra sensitive about it because Xbox is doing pretty bad. But anyway, so yeah, I said that I said Crackdown 3 was overrated. And people were like, how can a 59 rated game be overrated? And I'm just like, because 59 is too kind. That game is pretty horrible for the 5-year wait time that we had on it. And I just wish that we would have got a little bit more than that. So, yeah, it was kind of funny along those ways or whatever. My sound is breaking up, you're saying? Hopefully it doesn't break up too much. Sorry. I'll make sure that I get everything kind of worked out here soon. This is my first OBS try, y'all. So maybe you guys can like it and just leave me some feedback on it. So, obviously, I wasn't expecting it to work perfectly, but hopefully it continues to work at least somewhat good, and so far it does sound a little bit like that. So, oh, guys, come on. You know what? Here's the thing. I don't get very political with this stuff, but your heart breaks for what's happening right now with that kind of stuff. And I'm not going to get into what causing it, but I will say 100% that there is absolutely no correlation between um, between video games and that type of violence. So yeah, I just have to get that out there real quick. So in case anybody was wondering just where I stand on that, I feel like video games are something that most of us played. Heck, I play Madden or whatever. It doesn't mean I think I'm Peyton Manning or that I can play in the NFL. It's just one of those things that this happens, and it's unfortunate that it happens sometimes, and we should never, accept that it happens. So just, I guess, be aware in the day and age that that's going on soon. That's going on right now. We kind of have to deal with this stuff, and it's unfortunate, but hopefully, some good can come. We can kind of come together and figure out something that's going to work. But again, I am definitely not a political person, so please don't try to turn this into that for me, because I don't like that, man. People just take that political stuff and just kind of shove it up you know what I mean? Just Hey, I will say though this: anybody just blaming one man for saying this is wrong. Most presidents have been against video games or claim that it's violent, including Bill Clinton and Obama, and I think it was Al Gore, Tipper Gore, who got ratings on video games anyway after Grand Theft Auto or something like that. So I believe it was Bill Clinton, who was a Democrat, opposite of what we have now, blamed Columbine on video games. So it's not just a new thing. Trust me, it's always going to be a scapegoat, because people look at video gamers as like these outcasts or these loners or whatever, and it's not really the case anymore. Maybe in the 80s it was like a nerdier thing to do, but nowadays I feel like it's very mainstream and people game all the time. And that doesn't mean we go out and do things, you know what I mean? Just it's just kind of sad to see. So hopefully, not to be too harsh on this subject, but hopefully there is something. Yeah, politics isn't for me, that's for sure. Have I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey on the S? I started it, but I have not gotten very far into it. Hey, if you guys hit the like button, I'd get over 100. Well, yeah, listen, here we go. Like my dad grew up watching, Westerns and stuff, but he never did anything like that. So books tend to be very violent, and, that's like blaming violence on people that read something in a book, and it's just absolutely, people have blamed rap music, Sonic. I don't. I think that it's just music. People blamed Elvis Presley, believe it or not. And of course, I'm not old enough to remember this, but I remember hearing this from my dad, and I'm a big Elvis fan myself. Like, people thought Elvis was like the devil. You know what I mean? That's why he would dance around on stage like in the 50s, and when he used to be on like the talk shows at the time, they would film him from the waist up, because they thought he was quote unquote perverted for the way he danced. So things are always like, they blamed society on that or this or that or the other thing, and it's always just a scapegoat after scapegoat after scapegoat, and that's really, really sort of something that kind of grinds my gears a bit when it comes to this type of thing. But at the end of the day, I feel like each of us just has to stay vigilant and kind of and just help each other out and pick each other up where it needs to be. Well, here was another big piece of news that I thought was interesting that came out. Sony, Microsoft, and Google are among over 15 publishers with new reveals and announcements at Gamescom opening night. So this was pretty cool. The European gaming trade, Gamescom, is approaching, in the opening day event, which will be live streamed around the world on August 19th. So we're very close to this. Jeff Keighley, who will be hosting the event, recently took to Twitter to announce that over 15 game publishers will be at the opening event to premiere new content and make announcements. That does not, of course, mean all of them will be making new announcements, but we can expect some of them to show off some new stuff, etc., which is pretty cool. They also, on Sony's side, they confirmed Hideo Kojima will be appearing to premiere an exclusive new look at Death Stranding, which I think is pretty cool, because a lot of people, myself included, kind of want to know what this game is all about still, and I would love to see something like that come out. King LB says, thank you for saying that, Crappy. I appreciate it, man. No problem. Thank you for stopping by and showing some love and support. Let's see. Low End Average Gaming says, oh yeah, in the 80s, 90s, it was considered Nerdville for sure. I caught non-stop crap for it growing up. Due to that, I grew thick skin and become stronger from it. Yeah, you know what? It's just one of those things, that just, and it's never going to be normal. I just feel like it's something that we as gamers have to put up with. It doesn't help when we where we freak out on each other, and dude tends to be violent. Anybody can be violent, but I just always find it funny when it comes back to video games, as video games being the reason, and it's complete nonsense. So anyway, yeah, back to this bit of news. It does look like we're going to be having some cool Gamescom stuff, including Kojima's going to be there with Death Stranding. Sony's going to be there, obviously. Many other publishers, including 2K Games, probably with Borderlands 3. Private Division, probably with Outer Worlds, which is coming to Game Pass day one, so you guys might be interested in that. Microsoft, probably Gears of War 5. I am of the mind that this Gears of War 5 stuff that leaked today, the console and all this stuff, leaked and was going to be announced at Gamescom, right? This was probably going to be announced at Gamescom, but it leaked on Amazon Italy today, and so it kind of forced Microsoft's hands, I believe. So they announced it. I do believe that they were going to announce this on the 19th, which, at that point, it really doesn't give you much time to do much, huh? So anyway, Google apparently is going to be there with new information on upcoming Stadia and launch games. Square, Ubisoft, Capcom, and others, take a look. Let's see, Jeff Keighley tweeted this out. This guy is certainly hosting a lot of stuff lately, so it's always kind of interesting to see this kind of thing come about. But yeah, Gamescom, I'm kind of interested in it. I'm not expecting any megatons per se, but it'll be cool to get a look at some of the stuff that's coming out, and just kind of get an idea of what to expect. Like I said, I want to see a little bit more from Gears of War 5. I would love for them to sneak off and show some campaign, even though they say they're not going to do that until the 6th, which is when it actually launches in the Ultimate Edition. But I would love to see them actually go out and do something like that at Gamescom, or I'm excited to see some Death Stranding at Gamescom as well. Those are very exciting things. So I do really think that that's something that to kind of look forward to if you're a gamer or whatever. So it's very exciting, and this is been a pretty exciting day if you're an Xbox fan or a gamer fan in general. Hey, what's up, everybody? I see you guys there, and girls in the chat. Please like this and share it out. Hey, we're almost at 100. That's pretty cool. I'm going to answer some questions as well. Can't wait to see what the media thinks about the new Call of Duty. You know what? I'm excited about the new Call of Duty. I think it's going back to its roots, but there are a few questionable things. I did find out more about the crossplay situation, so it's not bad. It's based on input device. So it's one of those things where if you have a mouse and keyboard, apparently you can use mouse and keyboard on Xbox and PS4, and you'll just be matched up against everybody else with mouse and keyboard. So usually PC people. I can imagine if there's gamers out there, console gamers, who use mouse and keyboard for their games. It doesn't make sense to me. It seems like if you wanted those inputs, you would be a PC gamer. So yeah, kind of weird to see that, but it is nice to see that Activision at least will divide people up based on their input device instead of instead of some other way, just like forcing people together, because that is still a problem that I have with Gears of War, because they do that, and hopefully I'm hoping that they fix it and get something going there, because I would like to see it last a long time and sort of become a staple for Xbox. I would love to see that happen, and for people to sort of just kind of crap on it or whatever, or maybe just abandon the game early on. I hope that that's not the case, because Gears of War tends to die out very quickly in terms of what they offer with the multiplayer. So in case you didn't know, that does happen quite a bit. Like the Gears multiplayer dies out very, very quickly, and it's only there by the hardcore. That hardcore kind of check it out and they watch it and stuff like that. So and they play it because they're good at it. And so if you're new at that game, you go in there and you play the ranked matches and stuff, then you kind of get smacked around, and then people end up quitting the game, and that's what happens. Even that happens to me sometimes, right? You play ranked, you get your butt kicked, and you're like, I'm not going to go back to that. Well, for me personally, I sort of liked the way that they were doing things. You know what I mean? So I would love to see Gears stick around and have a larger install base for the multiplayer in the future or whatever, because I think that's very important going forward. And again, I hope that Microsoft can win me back. I'm refusing to say at E3, but between now and the launch of their next console, I would love to see them actually win me back and win back some other gamers and get people excited about what's going on, because so far, the most excitement I've gotten for Xbox is this announcement that they had today with the new gear stuff. So, that's one of those things. Now it's kind of exciting to see that, and maybe it's where they're gonna kind of the tide will turn a little bit. I'm hoping that that's something that happens, before too long. Just being real about it. I hope that that's something that happens before too long. Here we are, Sir X-Man, give it to Luca. Crap is scared of keyboard and mouse. I just would rather not play against it. I would rather everything be sort of fair. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's not exactly a fair situation for most people. So hopefully they understand that. And the funny thing is, though, Mike Ibarra, who is like one of the executives at Xbox, he's been tweeting out quite a bit lately and multiple times that, keyboard and mouse, and pointing out these different, like, these pro players, like, will come in third place or whatever on the PC tournaments with a controller versus keyboard and mouse. But that's not the normal, right? Like, a really good keyboard and mouse player is going to beat a really good controller player just because the accuracy is just too good and you can turn on the dime. So I would just hope that Microsoft realizes that and gives us the option. That's all I've ever asked for. What's up, WR Cup, man? Those Browns going to go 6-10. We already talked about that. Very excited to see your team go 6-10 this year. And Baker Bumfield throw quite a bit of throw quite a bit of interceptions. Me and him joke around a lot about sports, and but he's a good guy. What do I think about Mikey Barr pushing the mouse and keyboard stuff? I'm not a fan. I think it's not fun. What third-party game that is out within the next 18 months would you buy as an Xbox exclusive? As an Xbox exclusive, I don't know. I'm not really sure. Like Borderlands or like something like that big. I think that would be really helpful if they did that. King Ice, you keep saying to scroll up, but I don't see your question, my friend. So yeah, you're gonna have to ask me once again. Hey, hit the like button. We're very close to 100 likes. I would love to get over that. I think that would be great, and I think you guys are absolutely fantastic. And this is my first, in case you guys were wondering, my first attempt at OBS, and so far so good. Hopefully it continues to go well. I'm not super good at it, but thanks to Sully, I can at least go out there and do a little something with it. Mikey Barra, not anymore. Give me your jacket. That's not anymore. Something happened there. I'm not really sure what happened. Probably none of my business, but little known fact, I've actually been a part of an interview with Mikey Barra a couple of times. He joined us on Crossfire with Mooch, and I think another time as well. Good guy, but the only problem is with anytime you get one of these executives, they're only going to tell you what they can tell you, right? They're not going to break any news to you. So if you get in there thinking they're going to break some kind of great news for you, you're probably going to be disappointed. Like, I remember we talked to him right before E3, and the Scorpio thing had kind of leaked or whatever, and they weren't really kind of confirming or denying it. And then I remember telling Mike, I was like, well, are you a Scorpio or something like that? And he got a good laugh out of that. So, you can interview people, but they're never going to break or leak anything of any significance, especially in these little podcasts. I think that they like to do these things to kind of do this grassroots campaign or whatever, and I think that's pretty cool. But I also think that, it's one of those things where Microsoft should really, do a little bit better job. I think the Ninja acquisition is cool. Maybe that has something to do with Halo or whatever. I don't really know. But, I do feel like that maybe people, like, here's the thing. Like, when I saw that they acquired Ninja or whatever from Mixer, cool. But why announce that, man, and not announce a new game or two? Like, why not announce Fable? We all know it's coming. Excuse me. Had a little bit of a burp there. We all know it's coming. we all know that that Playground Games is working on it. Like, why not announce it? Why not get the fans happy and excited about something for a change? It's been so long since Xbox fans have really been unequivocally happy about something. That's what I miss about the Xbox One X, because at the time we all thought we were getting new games and we had 4K and this great system, and it is a great system. I'm not going to be sugarcoated. It is a fantastic system. The problem is, if you're in my particular situation, you're kind of at that point where you really want something to showcase what the console itself can do, right? So when I play my PS4 Pro and you play those Sony PS4 bangers and the VR and stuff, it's much better on the Pro. And so you feel like you get your money's worth. You got something there. There's a difference there. When I play my Switch, WR Cup, you hooked me up with, what is that? Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. You play those exclusives. They're a lot of fun. Great games. Fantastic games. Now, when I play my Xbox One, it's just one of those situations where I just feel like it's more of the same old, same old. It's nothing fantastic, and it's like we get the same Gears of War, Forza, and Halo, which I like those games. I just would like something else as well, and I don't think that I'm alone in this. I think a lot of people want something else, something that's fantastic, something that really gets people excited for the future of gaming, and I think that's something impressive. So I'm going to answer some more questions really quickly. What do you guys have to do? I'm happy that this works. If you guys want to hit the like button, I would love it. If you guys want to support the channel, it's welcome, but not necessary. If you guys want to, do super chats or stuff like that, it does help keep things going, to be honest with you. Realistically, just the support, I don't get the support that I used to, and I'm okay with that. But I do appreciate the few hardcore that come here and listen to my goofy channel and hear me complain and whatnot. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, hey, I lost a lot of support there too. So feel free to follow me on Twitter at @the_Crapgamer. And I'm always dropping some funny stuff. And, hopefully you guys will support me there and continue to support me. So am I going to, hold on, let me see. Jack Noyes says, are you going to pick up the new Custom Gears Xbox One X? Wasn't that for the whole cast? No, I'm not going to buy one. It's $500. It's $500 is a lot, because next year the PS5 and the Scarlet's coming out, and I would rather just save money and get those things. So yeah, I think it's awesome. I would love to get that. If somebody were to be like, Microsoft were like, here, do an unboxing, you get it for free, I would be like, heck yeah, that thing looks awesome. But the fact of the matter is, man, I cannot afford $500 for that at this particular time. Good He-Man game, Pac-Man. I would love a good He-Man game. I like He-Man. If you guys didn't know, I have a heck of a collection. For that, my original collection of the Masters of the Universe. I'm big into like the old collections and stuff like that. So I've been a big fan of that stuff for a while. Love seeing, that a lot of people in the gaming world that I follow and stuff like that are also into like this 80s stuff. Like us people in our 30s right now grew up with like the G.I. Joe and the Alf and the He-Man and the Transformers and stuff like that. So it's good to see my fellow gamers out there that kind of support this stuff and are into this stuff as well, because it's just good to see, fun touch base with that kind of stuff. We all had like the NES or whatever, and I was a big NES gamer for a very long time, and then I went on to the Genesis, and of course like the PlayStation and the N64 and the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast is probably one of my absolute all-time favorites. And now that I'm using OBS, I might be able to like do some little gameplay streamings in here a bit as well. Like I have some different things that, like, I have an Elgato, and I guess it's easier to stream. It doesn't take as much bandwidth if you're kind of doing it this way, where it just overplays the window. It might not be the best quality, but maybe fun for you guys to see something once in a while when I do these game casts. And I would definitely appreciate the support you guys come out and stuff like that. Green Hill says, will you do a stream collab with Dealer, Cold Eastwood, or The Undertaker? The Undertaker, like the wrestler, here's the thing. I have no problem with Dealer or Cold Eastwood. I don't think those guys are dying to do a collaboration with me. We all kind of patch things up, but we're on opposite ends of the spectrum, meaning that they're super pro Xbox right now, and I'm having a hard time finding that joy that I had for those first handful of years as an Xbox fan. So, I still occasionally catch something that they do, and it's okay. Like, they do their own thing, I do my own thing. I kind of like to be left alone. I have my certain people that I interact with, and they kind of interact with each other and things like that. If one of them get in touch with me and we're like, hey, would you like to be on a show or do something or collaborate? Why not, right? Why not? Sir X-Man says, give it to Luca. Crap, the Elite controller gives keyboard and mouse a run for its money. I've been eating a lot of them on PC with that controller. I still think, Sir X-Man, that if you used a keyboard and mouse and you're a decent keyboard and mouse player, that you're going to have a huge advantage. Not everybody that uses the keyboard and mouse is going to be better, though. So that's something that, like, people kind of got mad at me when I brought that up, right? They go, well, you know what? I played against keyboard and mouse on Gears 5 and I won. And I'm like, you know what, though? Honestly, that doesn't mean, like just with everything else, doesn't necessarily mean that that they have a keyboard and mouse that they're going to beat you. So I just have to kind of point that out, that as far as I'm concerned, the average keyboard and mouse player is going to be better than the average controller player, but not every keyboard and mouse player is going to beat you. So that's the way I look at it. I've beaten people on PC too, but it doesn't mean that I constantly want to worry about it. That's just something that I kind of want to put out there, that, hey, to each their own. But for me personally, it's just one of those things where I constantly don't want to be under fire and wondering if that's something that I got to worry about. So just keep that in mind as we kind of go along. You wouldn't be able to believe how many times during your podcast that I would love you to jump in and debate you guys. You just do great work on there. Well, that's part of the fun, right? We see a Dog of War A. That would probably be a funny thing to see, but I don't mind it. I feel like as in my particular state where I'm leaning a little bit more towards Sony right now, and I have a lot of facts to back up what I'm saying. It's hard. It would be hard to beat me. I don't think there's any Xbox person out there that could beat me in a debate. It's not going to happen, and it's not because they're not good at debating. It's because Xbox has done a crappy job of giving them great reasons and great points to debate me on. If once I pull out we haven't had a AAA new IP announced since 2015, boom, that's game over right there. Once I bring out that Phil Spencer said he doesn't care about console sales and he makes money through software and services, and I point out the fact that Sony sold 100 million PS4s and 1 billion pieces of software, and if you have 100 million consoles out there, you can sell more software and services, I win. Like, there's no way to really refute my points, and I keep all my articles on my PC, and it's really easy to kind of check them out and just kind of see what's going on. So yeah, I do love that. It's one of the things, if you get triggered enough to want to hop in and go round on round with me, then I think that's cool, and then I'm doing a good job. Like, part of the thing that you got to do is you got to be entertaining, you got to be annoying, you got to be funny, you got to be a little bit of everything, and I feel like I do a decent job at that, and hopefully, it seems like anyway you guys kind of agree with me with that anyway, so I do appreciate that, and I think you guys have been fantastic, especially since this is just a random late in the afternoon. Usually I do them a little bit earlier, and I kind of give some notice to it. I just was wanting to try OBS. Like I said, I was kind of dreading getting the chance to try this, but if you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like button, I would appreciate it. And it really does mean a lot to me that you guys come out here and continue to support me. I'm going to answer some more questions. AJ Felton says, yeah, nobody would beat you, bro, not now. Exactly. Like, I felt like for the longest time that as an Xbox fan that I didn't think people would beat me, but it's like now, it's like as kind of a middle-of-the-road fan, I just don't see it happening. Let's see. Jake Noyes says he needs someone with an opposing view. I found that out. If you guys maybe noticed with Xbox Nation, it was all just a bunch of people kind of agreeing with each other. Yep, Xbox is the best box. And I think what makes an interesting podcast is having people from opposing views. So lately when I've done it, I brought in like Kratos, J-Dubs. I brought in like I think Sir X-Man. I brought in different people with different points of views. Of course, Xbot is a big Xbox fan, and then you have me leaning towards the other way a little bit lately. And so you sort of see that it makes for a more entertaining thing if you can do it right? So if you can do it right, I think that that's the most important thing. Anybody can go out there and just do like a just yell at each other. But if you do it kind of respectfully and just kind of, and I think it could be hilarious. I think it could be well done. I think it could be funny. And I think that's what people like to see. And I like seeing that as well. So I like seeing, I used to love like Mooch getting into it with somebody. Like that to me was hilarious. And like he used to get into it with like Shady or Salty or whatever. Like that was funny stuff. And, I like seeing that kind of stuff. So, that's what I kind of try to embrace. I've changed things up a little bit. I'm working on multiple other things. Unfortunately, life happens. A lot of stuff happens just out of the blue. And so, stuff goes on the back burner. Like, I don't make as much content as I used to. It's quite obvious. But, when there's news, I hope to be able to do that. Jake says, I know you don't care about Mixer stuff, but what about Dr. Disrespect's video saying he would consider a move to Mixer as well if the money's right? Here's the thing. I think I've heard of Dr. Disrespect. I've heard of Ninja, but I've only heard of these guys super recently. I don't know who any of these other people are, and that's not a disrespect to them, if disrespect is even a word. The thing about it is I don't know what this is really going to do for Xbox itself, but if they think it's going to help or they can advertise it, then I think that's fine. But apparently, Microsoft went after someone else. And if you guys are just joining me, please hit the like button. I would appreciate it. But apparently, Microsoft went after someone else before they got Ninja, and this guy kind of dragged his legs a little bit and didn't give him an answer, and then they pulled back the thing and they go, oh, well, apologies, we're not interested, the money's gone. And then the money went to Ninja. We don't know how much it is. People think that it's 50 million, people think that it's 75 million, people think it's 100 million. It has to be something in the millions, because this guy was making millions on Twitch, and the only reason he would leave is for guaranteed money elsewhere. So I look at it as like a free agent signing, maybe like a football team, and they're using it there. I think that it's partly due to Stadia. I also think that it's them trying to get influencers that a lot of people like and respect. Maybe he will go back and start playing Halo. That could be big. It could be big getting the PC crowd into Halo. I don't think he's a console gamer. I think he's a PC gamer. But, this is the first Halo that's launching day and date on PC. Along with the console version. So it could be the sort of situation like that. We don't know, but we'll have to see how it works out. It's interested, and it's their money, so what the heck do I care, right? Like, they can spend it how they want. I just wish that they would announce something. Like, I know that a lot of people go, oh, well, it's cool, whatever. Games are coming. I get that games are coming, but I don't want to be 50 when they get here. I want to be excited and look forward to something in the next couple of years, not like 5 years from now, because I've already waited 4 years for decent Xbox games and they haven't come yet. So I want Microsoft to announce something, be a little bit proactive with what they're doing, and hopefully they can continue to do that. Yeah, Green Monster says Ninja is hungry for money. I don't know, man. He was already making a ton of money. He makes like, 15, 20 million a year. He's got a ton of endorsements and stuff. I think it should be fine, The longest time you swore that Xbox was better. Listen, Xbox is technically better. The Xbox One X is the better console. The problem is they don't have the exclusives. So if you were to ask me, if somebody was just now going to go, hey, I was thinking about getting a Pro or Xbox One X, I haven't played anything this generation, which one should I get? I would recommend the PlayStation 4 Pro and a slew of Pro games. I would say get God of War, get Uncharted 4, get Infamous, Bloodborne, whatever, Detroit, Spider-Man, I would Horizon Zero Dawn. I would just have people go off in there. There's nothing particularly on the Xbox that I feel is must play, with the exception of Forza Horizon 3. I feel like that is the greatest racing game of all time. And while I enjoy Horizon 4, it's the one that I put the least amount of time into. It just feels terribly like a games as a service game. And they took the festival part out of it, in my opinion. Like, the fun part of the festival, where you were just really kind of grinding and getting the festival stuff done, they kind of took that away, in my opinion. And now it's like dailies. It's almost like Destiny on wheels, right? Here's your dailies, here's your weeklies, here's your monthlies, like, go do this. And it's like, I just like playing those games by myself. And I know you can play them offline, but it's like every time you boot it up, then you have to set it to offline or whatever. I just like kind of chilling and doing these things by myself. And the fact that they're not allowing that, or they make it more difficult to just enjoy the single player experience on that game, kind of bums me out. I'm not saying that I that everybody would be like that. But just for me, it's just one of those things that I kind of look at it that way. So I know not everybody would look at it that way, but that's just how I look at it at the end of the day. So you hit the like button. Maybe we can get up to 150. I would appreciate it. Jama says, should I get an Xbox One X or a phone? I want to be a gaming YouTuber. Well, I would say get an Xbox One X because that's going to be allow you to play video games, my friend. So yeah, you would definitely want to do that because I think that's very important. So let's see. I'm going to answer some more question. Here we go. Let's see. What do we got here? Sorry, and there is a little bit of delay. So there is a problem with that's one of the things with OBS, right? There is a bit of a problem with there is like a delay compared to like when you're just running a regular Hangout. Jake says, I agree that a PS4 Pro, if you're late to this gen, do you feel like your followers have switched to more PlayStation guys lately? Here's the thing. I've lost, I don't know, 1,000, 1,200 subscribers. It's all relative. Like, I hate to lose it, because I'm proud of it, but I've also never been one to really brag about subscribers or anything like that anyway. So it sucks, but at the same time, do they want me to just lie to them and pretend that I'm happy? Then I'm not happy. So it's like somebody's going to be unhappy in this situation, and I would rather not be unhappy. And if other people are unhappy, then that sucks. But there are other people that will tell them other stuff or give them just the good stuff. I tend to, if this is good, like this Gears stuff, right? Gears 5 custom console looks amazing. Probably the best custom console we've seen this entire generation. I think it looks fantastic. They're going all out for it. This would have been a great announcement at E3, but again, they kind of dropped the ball or whatever. Halo Infinite is probably going to be like that, games as a service. Yeah, I worry about that a little bit. It makes me a little bit upset that they're going that route for seems like everything. Mainly because if you look at games as a service, okay, stuff like Bleeding Edge would be games as a service. It's multiplayer only. There's loot. There's like cosmetic chests or whatever. They're banking on people playing that. You constantly probably update new maps and new characters, and it keeps people playing it, right? Sea of Thieves, no single player into that either. It's just multiplayer. They're going to introduce microtransactions with different things in that. Sort of the same thing. State of Decay 2, same situation. There's not really a story in that. Just dailies and random events that happens, and it's multiplayer. You play co-op or whatever, and they add more content and different things, and that's games as a service. Forza Horizon 4, games as a service. Like almost everything they do is games as a service. The only thing that they're not doing games as a service with is stuff like Ori 2 or Battletoads, and those are very small games, probably cheap games to make. Like 2D side scrollers and stuff. So you do have to kind of keep that in mind when you look at this kind of stuff, because that's like the trend itself is disheartening as a fan. Like Microsoft used to do great single player games, and I know there's single player stuff in like Gears of War and Halo, but those were lackluster this generation too. Like, why not do something great and get something that single player? Like, I hope that the Fable reboot isn't a games as a service. Like, you can make it co-op if you want, but please don't make it a game as a service. Like, that was what was Fable Legends, and that wasn't going to end well. Like, people were not happy about that. And of course the studio ended up closing over it or whatever. So yeah, very interesting to sort of see what's going on with that. Hopefully we can see some great single player stuff from Microsoft in the future as well. Crap, go to OBS settings and go to advanced, then you can fix your stream delay. I don't have enough internet to do a non-delay stream. Sorry, like, it requires a lot more bandwidth than I have. So hopefully it's something that's not really there. How was the multiplayer in God of War or Spider-Man? There was no multiplayer in God of War or Spider-Man, thankfully, right? But those games had enough content. If you wanted to 100% them, you're looking at 70 hours or more for each of those, and there was 3 DLCs with Spider-Man, so maybe even more on that. They did put multiplayer in God of War Ascension on the PlayStation 3, and it was bad. It didn't really work out too well. Let's see. The EDM Gamer says, I'll go for PS4 Super Slim, then Pro Slim, and finally PS5. I mean, you can't go wrong. It's going to be backwards compatible, so you do have that going for you. I would love to see the PS5 be backwards compatible with, various things like the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think that would be really cool if they were able to kind of achieve that. just for the simple fact that, you know, we've been missing out on stuff like that for the longest time. So I would love to see that. And, you know, I just think that it would be fantastic for them to kind of accomplish that. I'm going to answer a few more questions before I get out of here. Got a Bump says, last Fable sucks, so why is anybody expecting anything different now? Opinions, my friend. I actually liked Fable 3. Fable 2 won Game of the Year for N4G. Fable 3, I thought they rushed it. It came out too soon. But I do feel like it's one of those things where, you know, we have to look at it and say, well, they could have fixed it. We probably should have had a great one by now, and now they had to totally reboot it with the new developer. So that's about what I have to say. So I do think that Microsoft will do something great with Fable or Playground, but they got to avoid the games as a service stuff. People will not be happy if that is games as a service. King Ice says, any news about the hybrid handheld system from Sony Japan Development Kit System information crap? Dude, King Ice, if you can DM me that, I'll look into it. DM me on Twitter. I have not heard anything about it. Lone Star says, Rare's next game is multiplayer. Why not make a great single player with a campaign? Lone Star, there's a lot of reasons. Games as a service is being the main one. Like, look, if you had to look at Microsoft as being a company and you compared them to a publisher, I would compare them to EA. They both do this games as a service online stuff. It's really, really, you know, it's just really interesting to sort of see that kind of come about or whatever. So for me, I would just say, you know, just take it for what it's worth or whatever, you know, just in my opinion anyway. Answer a couple more questions before I get out of here. Do I play Mortal Kombat? I played the other one. I don't have the new one, but feel free to game gift it to me. MOH Space Crapgamer, I'd love that. Project Milo, that's dead. They canceled that a long time ago. Long time ago. Super long time ago. Hey, hit the like button, y'all. Maybe we can get up to 150 or 160. I would love that. I just really think that it was really... I wanted to test this OBS stuff out. I've been kind of stressing about it, and now it looks like it's kind of working, and I'm pretty damn happy about that. You know, I got to say it's very impressive to see this happen, and you know, I'm happy to see Microsoft sort of continue to push boundaries with this console. They did a really good job with this new console, and I'm happy with that. I wish I had money to get this, but again, I already have an X. There's new consoles coming next year. No need to kind of to go out of all my money and sort of pick this up, you know. So hopefully you guys kind of understand that and get that, because I feel like that's super important going forward. I'm going to take like maybe one more question, maybe one more. Let's see. Hit the like button, y'all. Let's go. Let's get it going. Here we go. Jago, what's up? Dog of War says, I can see Sony only doing PS4 backwards compatibility and putting PS1, 2, and 3 games on PS Now. That would probably piss people off, but I can see it happening. Craig E3, Crapgamer, Obsidian's the Outer World hype. No, but if I want to try it, I can play it on Game Pass. I have Ultimate for till 2022. I paid $1 for it, so yeah. I don't like Fallout, and it looks like Fallout New Vegas in space, and so that's going to be an issue for me. So I get it that a lot of people are excited. Hey, good deal for you if you want to play it on you know, on your particular platform of choice. Go ahead. I think that's fine. But for me personally, yeah, it's not. It doesn't really look like my type of game. So yeah, unfortunately. So absolutely. Maybe I got time for one more question, or unless I get a couple good ones. If you guys and girls want to get some in, I would love to answer them real quick. Let's see, who's gonna win Gamescom? Nobody. Nobody's gonna win Gamescom. Decent 45 or 4K 65-inch TV. It depends on what you're looking for. You can't go wrong with like some of the Samsung stuff or the TCL. I use a TCL, and I think it works really good. It's comparable to the Samsung KS8000. So I think those are good. If you want to go real high end, man, those are a little bit more pricey, where you go with the OLEDs and stuff like that. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, I don't see any more questions rolling in, so I'll assume you guys are kind of ready to head on out of here. It is the dinner hour. Earl Thomas is looking great for the Ravens. The Ravens are going to have an impressive secondary this year. It's going to be pretty fantastic. So I appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out. Yeah, the TCL is really good, Mike. I use one every day. Every day. It looks really great. So I do appreciate y'all coming out. I plan on being back on Crappy Mondays and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a good time. Thank you guys so much for rocking out with me. Have a fantastic day. Hit the like button. Share it out. Subscribe if you haven't already. Peace. Crapgamer.